Invisible Partners was born through a moment of extreme stress. I had been working in the industry for a long time and love recruitment and love recruiting, and was in a particular spot having had two gorgeous children, where just my whole world changed and my priority set changed, and I was used to working crazy hours and billing big numbers in recruitment, placing lots of jobs and placing a huge priority on my career and very little else. And then I had two babies, and so I had to try and spread myself across two major priorities, because I also love being a mum, and found it really conflicting, and I felt like I was doing everything badly, and but knew that I wasn't the only woman, parent in the world to be feeling like this, and felt like there should be another way to do really good work. And so in my instance, it's recruitment and hiring outcomes and helping organisations get great people and build great teams. I knew that there should be another way to do those things without completely killing myself in the process and feeling like I was failing, even although by every other measure around billing measures or client happiness, I was doing a really good job. My kids were happy. I just felt like I was failing, and I was very stressed and very anxious, and so had this moment of clarity that there should be another way, and there is another way, and I could probably find a way of doing that through Invisible Partners. And I also didn't want it just to be me that got the fix. So me stepping into a more flexible mechanism wasn't enough. I wanted to give other people experiencing the same level of conflict and crisis, because I really was going through a crisis. I wanted to give other people the chance to access brilliant, flexible work too. And equally, just as motivational for me, was how flawed the recruitment industry is, and how often, particularly the agency world of recruitment, how it wasn't giving employers enough. In fact, it was detracting from the employer's requirements. So employers were coming to the recruitment industry to get a job filled, but they didn't just need a job filled. They needed to have their whole employee experience renewed and transformed. And as a recruiter in that, they're not paid or commissioned to do that. And so there was a real disconnect around paying for a service that wasn't delivering what the employer needed and what the company needed. And so I have been in a great position to build a business that gives people access to really cool, flexible work that helps with recruitment outcomes, but also equally gives organisations access to flexible recruitment talent that helps build employer brand strategy, helps fix hiring challenges they might be facing, but in a really sustainable, cost-effective way that sets those organisations up for success and allows them to recruit themselves better. I think the recruitment industry is, and has been for probably the last decade, it's undergoing some massive transformation through technology and through tools and kind of tricks around how to make it more streamlined and more efficient, more cost effective. It's still a human industry though. There's still a human element to somebody selecting an employer to work for and to evaluating whether that fits right. So I don't think cultural evaluation and assessment, or even to a point skills evaluation and assessment, it can be completely automated, or the human element can be extracted, but it has been impacted by technology, mostly favourably, using things like video and psychometric evaluation and other tools in which you can kind of evaluate someone's fit. But the human element is still important. The industry of recruitment, the agency recruitment component of recruitment, is so flawed because it's completely driven by things that don't add value to the employee or the candidate or the employer and the organisation looking to build their team. And so when you have an industry that's built around sales outcomes versus the measures in which an employer would value around retention of that staff, productivity of that staff member, value high quality of that hiring outcome, happiness of the person that's come on board, and a real kind of care factor for the aftermath of that appointment, not just a tertiary, we'll replace it for free if it doesn't work out for a few months, but actually care about whether that's going to be a good hire or not. That's where the industry is flawed. So I think Invisible Partners' model kind of combines the best of both worlds. So agency recruiters, when they are operating at their best, are commercially orientated, fast-paced, are really, really sharp with how they use their time, and it's a really, really important collection of skills to have. And those that are the good ones in the industry, which there are loads of good recruiters in the recruitment industry, have ethics around what they do, of course, and therefore form really, really long-standing and trusted relationships with their employers and clients. But they still miss out on what it's like to work in that environment and the aftermath of a successful hire. So how successful that hire has been from an engagement, productivity and performance perspective. If you have somebody embedded in your organisation for a hiring outcome that cares because they're part of the team, then that's when the magic happens. We have a commercial model that ensures that we are part of the tapestry of that organisation. So they are, and most employer environments, when they outsource recruitment, because that does exist, RPO or recruitment process outsourcing does exist out there, but it is the domain of people that hire a volume of people. So your big enterprise accounts that have hundreds of recruits every single year. We are offering a solution that allows smaller corporates to have the same benefits of having an embedded recruitment function that can be turned on and off depending on what the hiring need is. So far, we have found organisations that are in their infancy in terms of how they go to market from an employer brand perspective work really well with us, because we can help them on that journey and help them get their recruitment marketing to a place where they're really happy and they're getting the results from that. Organisations that either don't have an HR function at all and really need some external support and consultation, or have a very under-resourced one, so they can't do everything and they just can't get to the hiring priorities that they have, or where they have a particular project that they just don't have the right resources in place to hire that particular project, or where they need somebody who's a real subject matter expert in a particular component of the employee experience. That's where we operate really well. So under-resourced or lack of expertise, bring an invisible partner in on site and you will have access to that external consultation and expertise on a project basis, where you don't have to foot the bill for that person on a permanent basis. The Invisible Partners movement relates to anything in the employee life cycle. So we are looking to team up with anybody that is talented in recruitment, in HR advisory, in learning and development. There's a real emphasis on recruitment, so the recruitment is probably the lion's share of the type of work that we access. But people that want to do that on a flexible basis. So these individuals might have a portfolio career, which means they have a number of streams of income, and they want to complement their existing streams of income with another project partner, and that's where Invisible Partners comes in. Or they might have commitments outside of their working life, so they might have children, they might have aging parents, they might just like to travel a lot, and they might just have a really alternative approach to earning an income and just want something on a project basis where we have no expectation they're going to be available, but when they say yes, they're able to deliver a particular project outcome. And so it gives total flexibility to our clients and cost-effective offering to our clients, but for them, they can make sure that they're available for school holidays. They don't need to be apologetic about the fact that they need to leave at 3 o'clock to do school pickup. That's part of our offering, and that's part of our movement. I would love for smaller organisations, so smaller corporates, so less than 1,000 employees, to feel completely confident that they have another solution out there through Invisible Partners. And as excitingly, arguably more excitingly, I want to give access to hundreds of people looking to juggle work and life, typically family, access to really exciting problems to solve, and not feeling like they have to have the consolation part-time jobs prize, which is normally not a prize at all. I want to give hundreds and hundreds of people access to really interesting work on their terms.